it and hover and hover and hover. Slight drift, holding altitude. That's what P3 is about, doing what the P3 does. Gaining a little altitude on its own. Responsive. It said I get a little glitchy in the air, but I've been getting interference warnings. Losing altitude on its own. Drifting slightly on its own. Losing altitude on its own. Gaining altitude on its own. Rotating slightly on its own. It's doing this on its own. This is the extent of its stability right now. Making correction to center. Slightly awkward on the stick. Slight wind. Bringing it out to do another hover. Centering. Hands off stick. Descending on its own. Slight left rotation on its own. Ascending slightly on its own. Slight right drift. Slight descend. Slight left. Left slip. Left slip. Left slip. Left slip. Left slip. Out of vision. Correction. Slight forward motion on its own. Returning to center. Going into auto hover. Centering. Slight ascend. Slight ascend. Holding position. Holding. Slight descend. Continue descent. Slight left rotation. Correcting. Holding position. Holding. Slight right rotation. Holding. Slight left rotation. Correcting. Holding. Holding. Slight altitude increase. Continued altitude increase. Slight decrease. Holding. Slight decrease. Slight decrease. Hands off sticks. Slight increase altitude. Continued increase in altitude. Continued increase in altitude. Hands off sticks. Decrease in altitude. Decrease in altitude. Hands off sticks. Slight breeze. Decrease in altitude. Wind order correction. Decrease in altitude. Hands off stick. Autonomous correction. Holding. Holding. Recentering, hands on stick. Hands off stick, auto hover. Decrease in altitude. Hands off stick, slight left. Increase in altitude. Continued increase in altitude. hands off stick, hovering, auto hover, decrease in altitude, hands off stick, decrease in altitude, slight breeze, auto correcting, increase in altitude, slight decrease in altitude, slight rotation left, hands off sticks, increase in altitude, auto hovering, and that's what we got, man. My Phantom, that's about as good as it was. It's still holding. I'm happy with this. I'm pleased. My Phantom is still operational, and out here over at Kent Island, I went up to 700 feet.